All right, hey, what's up, guys? This is Brad with Spite Fitness, and just got back from doing some shopping. Went around, did the whole souvenir thing. Got some gifts for the family. Got a chance to link up with Dan Clancy. Competed this past weekend at the U.S. Open in the, I think he was in the 242s. Yeah, so him and I are gonna try to link up. So I got to start heading his direction and just get a light training in. He's taking it easy just because obviously he competed. And I'm probably going to take it easy because I haven't done shit all weekend. So I'm going to start packing up, getting out there, and we'll see what we can do with this. All right, check it. So I've heard people talk about the California traffic. It doesn't appear to be a fucking lie. This traffic is nuts, man. Just like people fucking everywhere. This is a lot of people. I'm not used to this amount of people in a space like this. So yeah, it's crazy. What's also crazy, and I'm not sure if this is a thing. I don't ride motorcycle at all, but motorcycles here are fucking nuts, man. Like they're like right up in between everybody, which I've never seen before. It might be like a California thing, or it might be, I don't know if it's legal or not. I'm gonna have to look that shit up. But it just seems kind of crazy. Because, like, you know, someone's not paying attention and changes lane or whatever. Man, I wonder how many, like, motorcycle fatalities there are here in California. Or injuries, or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, it's crazy. So I'm on the way right now in the car, heading up to Metroflex Gym in Marietta. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Gonna meet up with Dan and gonna get some training in. Nothing too crazy because, like I said, you know, he's recovering, I'm recovering, and I'm just being lazy this week. And I had a lot of alcohol last night. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. But yeah, just kind of cruising along. Should be up there pretty soon. All right. Good God. Fucking traffic like crazy, man. I think I am just about where I need to be. Oh man, I'm still trying to figure this shit out. Anyway, yeah, I think I'm right about where I need to be, ish. Oh, and gonna try to figure it out. But what I wanted to jump in and say was, one thing I've never had in my entire life is In-N-Out Burger. And you know, I've heard people talk, you know, very highly of it. It's supposed to be a very good burger. I don't know. So there's an In-N-Out like right here, and I'm gonna have to try that shit out. So I think I figured out what I'm doing for at least dinner or pre-dinner or whatever. But gonna give that a look-see and see how that goes. Anyhow, I think I'm pulling up right here, so I'll find a parking spot, text Dan, see what the deal is. I think he's running a little late too, and hopefully get some decent training in. It'll be fun. The exercise in here, Dan had to step off, so I was just kind of warming up. Did some of this leg press. I didn't get to use that machine much, so that was kind of cool. And then just kind of using this this different machine, just doing some leg press, kind of warm up the legs. I wanted to do some squatting and play around a little bit with just a little bit of weight. So I ended up building up to 495. So this right here is the first set of 495. Hit it for 5, and just trying to move smooth, trying to move deep, and just kind of feel some weight on my back, especially since I was so lazy this week. I really didn't do much of anything. So just kind of wanted to have a little bit of weight on my back and fart around a little bit. Dan was having some issues, you know, had kind of something pinched from competition this past week, so he didn't want to load up too much because, you know, it felt like maybe he had a rib head pop out or something like that. So it's just uncomfortable for him, really. But he wanted to move a little bit of weight, so he, you know, I think he ended up doing a plate for a couple of warm-ups and then a couple of rounds of 2 plates, just again for movement. And you know, I ended up doing, I think, 3 sets of 495 for 5 reps. And, you know, Dan's there behind me kind of talking to a few folks. You can see them giving some hugs. And, you know, Dan, after having competed at the U.S. Open this past weekend, you know, kind of a bit of a hometown hero. A lot of people were coming up to him and asking him how he did and how he's feeling and all that stuff. So, it's really cool to see the excitement around a lifter. You know, people know him, people have seen him, and they're eager to talk to him and find out how he did, how he's feeling, all that stuff. So that's just really cool. I think that's kind of what powerlifting's about. After we got done with the squats and stuff, we moved over to bench and just kind of farting around. Built up to 315, and we're rocking a couple sets of fives with 315. This was the last set that we did, I think. And I was joking with Dan about how he had his legs up and not on the ground and was rocking kind of footless, so that I had to do it too then. So here I am with my feet up, hitting 315 for 5. And moving pretty good. Then Dan suggested that we do some AMRAPs. And I am generally not a big fan of AMRAPs just because they suck and they hurt. But wanted to take it down to 225 and bust some reps out. And you can see the plates here. We were dumb and didn't put collars on, so the plates were taking a walk on them. So I told him to pause so I could slide those plates back in place so it wasn't getting too imbalanced. And he continues to power on and kind of just slams through it and was feeling pretty good. Obviously, this is after our several sets of 315 for fives. So he ends up knocking out, I think, 30 reps. Pretty good stuff, man. Just moving weight, feeling pretty good. He was saying actually the back pain felt even better. It was not bothering him during the bench just because, it was kind of added some compression and pushing him back, I think. So that was kind of cool. So I was glad he was feeling good. And then it's my turn. And, of course, I had the benefit of seeing him go first. So I wanted to top him. And, just because, there's always some sense of competition to it. But, he had to pause because those plates were moving. So here in a second, I rest the bar on my chest for a second. There we go. Take a pause because he had to as well. I want to make it fair. And kind of power on. Man, that left shoulder pain that I've been feeling, kind of that supraspinatus, it wasn't bugging me so bad, but here these last couple reps, it was like tight as shit. And, so I was just kind of powering through, trying to get a few reps in. And I think I end up with about 36 reps. I don't know. You guys have to count it if you give a shit. But, I knocked out 36 reps or so and felt pretty good. And then basically we wind it down, do some accessory stuff. So kind of doing some supersetting with some tricep work. Get the I guess bilateral rope push down. So hitting that, and then he's hitting the single arm reverse tricep extension, and basically just kind of swapping back and forth. One then the other, and so. It's him finishing up and me moving the camera a little bit there so we can get a better viewing experience. And of course, in between everything, just kind of chatting and joking and laughing, and it was really good to sit there and hanging out with him and talk through stuff. Just talking about lifting, talking about being in the service. Dan's a Marine and active duty, and going through a lot. He's had a lot of kind of wild experiences in his service. And it was just awesome to sit there and talk and bullshit between sets and kind of goof off and talk about our experiences and tell stories and kind of laughing and stuff. And it was really cool. And I think, him and I were joking around toward the end. And I was saying, yeah, man, I knew we'd get along real good just because, we met in Vegas at Worlds. And, we were both competing then, so didn't get to chat much. But, sharing the passion for powerlifting. But then also just having that bond of being in service, generally speaking, if you're a service member, you can kind of pick up and go anywhere and really, get along with other service members, just about anywhere. There's a kind of a bond and connectivity that is there from that, and so we were able just to really click and just kind of go through shit. And then there at the end, Dan wanted to do some rear delt flies, and we decided to superset it with some leg extensions. So just kind of jumping back and forth, banging out a couple of sets of that, and it was good. Just kind of to wind down and finish a pump. And again, here's the Dan saying hi to another friend, and wishing him well and congratulating him on his performance at the U.S. Open. So. Man, it was awesome. And, you know, as you can see, the gym is top notch. You know, everything's, you know, a lot of space, a lot of equipment, and it was all good. So, yeah, we had a good time. And I got to thank Dan for linking up with me and, you know, staying out late. I'm sure his, you know, wife and kids are missing him because we didn't get done training until almost 10 o'clock. So, so it was awesome. So I just want to thank Dan and his family for sharing him and his time with me, and you know, getting some good training in. All right. So just spent the last like 2 hours hanging out with Dan, getting some training in. Got a little bit of leg training, and then I hit some bench and some accessory stuff. It's pretty good. And now I am out at the world famous In-N-Out Burger, right? So never had it, gonna try it, see how it goes. Yeah, and I'm fucking hungry, so let's do this. Luckily, it is kind of chilly as fuck, so there's not that many people outside, so I can do my little video here and not feel all embarrassed about talking to a goddamn camera. But anyway, so got my In-N-Out. I always have a hard time eating after I lift, so I just went with just the cheeseburger. So not the double. I know that people will recommend that. Try this. That is a damn good burger. It's the cheese too. Cheese is a lot better than other stuff. Decent fries. Maybe a chocolate shake too, huh? Alright. So yeah, this is it's not like an orgasm in my mouth or anything, but it's pretty good. Anyhow, I just want to kind of close out the video, man. It was a great opportunity to come out here. You know, had to come out here for work. Ended up having a pretty good time while I was here. I was able to hit up Dan and link up with him. I also hit up Chris Ritter and, you know, wanted to try to link up, but unfortunately weren't able to kind of connect. So no good there. But man, it was really good to hang out with Dan and get some training in, and just kind of talk shop and, you know, fuck around. So I would have caught more of the conversation and stuff like that, and us kind of just bullshitting. But yeah, what we talked about was between him and I. It's none of your goddamn business. But it's just kind of cool, you know what I mean? Just kind of link up with the guy. You know, haven't had a chance to hang out with him all that much, so certainly didn't want to stick a camera in his face all that much. But it was good to, you know, get a little footage for the training and all that, and it was a good time. And I gotta say, Metroflex Gym out here in Marietta, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but Metroflex Gym is a badass gym. So I don't know if you're out here or you're around here or you happen to come in the area, it's definitely worth coming to. It's a super clean gym, a ton of awesome equipment in there. Everything is pretty new, if not brand new. And they got, like, kilo plates, squat bar, deadlift bar, competition rack. You know, they got pretty much everything you would need. So. And then just a ton of machines and accessory stuff available. So the Metroflex Gym was badass, and they were super cool, and, you know, kind of let me in and check out the gym with Dan, and it was a really great time. So I want to say thanks to those guys. Metroflex Gym Marietta is a badass gym. Yeah, guys. Anyway, that's it. I just want to kind of capture this. I'm going to eat my food before it gets too cold, and pack up my shit and head back. And then I travel back home tomorrow. So it'll be good to, you know, get back home. Anyway, guys, that's it. If you've got any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the chat box below. You know, if you like the video, give it that thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this point, I highly recommend it. I appreciate it if you would. And then you know, share the video with friends and family and all that stuff. Anyone you know, people that you don't know, whatever. And remember, guys, no matter what it is you think you can't do, train to spite. You either find an excuse or you find a way. That's it, guys. Thanks for checking it out, and we'll see you in the next one.